Okay, in this video we'll discuss your lodging options for Brimfield. Coming up for the flea market as a vendor or as a buyer, it gets pricey. It can easily be the most expensive part of your travel to and from the show. Even as a vendor, it can cost more to stay up there for a week than it can for the booth rent. So let's dive right in and discuss your different options.
I set up at my first show when I was 14, selling baseball cards. I've owned an antique mall, sold online, set up at the cheapest flea markets, and some of the more expensive indoor walled antique shows. My name is Matt Gregg, and this is the life of a modern antiques dealer.
Basically, you have three options: camping, hotels, and like the Airbnb type rental places. Different companies do that, of course. So they all have their pros, they all have their cons. We're all looking to stay as close as possible, as cheap as possible, as nice as possible. Doesn't always work out. If you look at this map here, I've circled in red the town of Brimfield. Now the purple circles, they're the places where there are a lot of hotels, or not a lot, but there are hotel options, especially if you get further away. Auburn, Mass over to the east, Springfield, Mass to the west. Those towns have a lot of options for hotels. Now, see these two yellow circles? Those are sort of hotel-less land. Yeah, not many places to stay there, like basically no hotels. There are some Airbnbs in those areas, but yeah, no hotels. No hotels in the town of Brimfield as well. So, you gotta stay somewhere. How can you do it? How can you save money? I've tried just about every option. I've done them all. First time up as a vendor, I went with a friend. We took a trailer up. We both slept in the back of the trailer on air mattresses. First time I did dealer's choice by myself, I slept in the front seat of my van. I drove up the night before the show, slept in the front seat of my van, across the two front seats, not very comfortable. This past year, I slept in the back of the van. It's rough. So yeah, as a vendor, you can sleep in your field. As customers, even if you come up in RVs, you can't camp on fields. The town does not allow it. So you have to go to a local campground for that. Dealers, of course, can also sleep at the campgrounds. Now, my friend John and I have gone up for years as buyers, and we've stayed at a bunch of different places. We stayed south of Springfield once. Yeah, we booked kind of late. We ended up in like the Enfield, Connecticut area because it was like, I don't know, $50, $60 cheaper than staying in Springfield, Mass. Maybe even $75 cheaper than staying in Springfield. And we thought, well, for an extra 20 minutes, we'll save like $50 each, and that's what we did. It was a long drive though. Hotels. We stayed over in the Ludlow area. That's not a bad drive into town, but the restaurant options there are awful. And it was a particularly nice drive into town when we were parked at Dealer's Choice, which is on the west end of town, and we would go to leave. We wouldn't drive all the way across town. And if you've never been to Brimfield before, the traffic gets crazy. Everyone seems to leave town within like a 2-hour window at the end of the day. All overlaps with the rush hour for local traffic. And so, I don't know, it can take you 10 minutes just to pull out of the field you're parked on. If a bunch of 20 people are leaving at the same time, it gets backed up. And then you have to drive, you crawl through town. A lot of stopping, people walking across the roads, people stopping to let other cars out of other fields. So it gets crazy. It can take you forever to get through town. And then most of us, if you're in a hotel, you're heading east towards Sturbridge, and then you get to the edge of Sturbridge and it backs up again. So traffic's insane. It's just really bad for what you think is like, you know, a small town with basically no traffic lights or one traffic light. My friend John and I, we've done it all. Connecticut, Ludlow. I think we stayed in the Auburn, Mass area. That's actually not a bad option. So yeah, the traffic, like I said, traffic's a murder. But traffic's a murder between Brimfield, driving through Brimfield, and then the edge of Sturbridge. Once you get through Sturbridge, Auburn's like 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away. So if you were staying in Sturbridge, paying X amount of dollars, and you're staying another 20 minutes and paying half that, well, that might be what you want to look at. Again, depends on your criteria, what you're trying to do. But that's what my friend John and I settled on. We started staying in Auburn. It was the savings were significant enough that the extra 20 minutes each way didn't matter. And the restaurant options in Auburn, they're plentiful. And some pretty decent ones too. We found a fried seafood place that John just loves. Basically, if you look at this chart and we think of the three options you have for staying, you're going to think you want to stay somewhere quality, looking for proximity to the show. Sure, you want to be close to the show. Proximity is important, right? You don't want to spend hours driving every evening, every morning. You want to save some money? You want to get the lowest cost possible? Well, good news. If those are your three criteria, which is probably the three criteria for everybody, you can't get all three. You can pick two. Sometimes you can pick one. Sometimes you can't even pick any. These places book up. Not a lot of them. So it's not quite like the heyday back in the day where you had to book a year early just to get a hotel. But I still know people that do that. Yeah, they book a year early to get their hotel. So Airbnb, same. Not a lot of options up there. You're looking to rent one. You got to do it early. Yeah, camping. There's a lot of cons for camping. You're sleeping in a tent. Who knows if that's comfortable? Some people don't like to camp. So that's definitely a con. Hey, got a shower somewhere. They have showers too, but still, it's not as nice as having a hotel shower or an Airbnb shower. But yeah, it helps wake you up in the morning or cleans off the grime after a long day of walking through dusty fields. So yeah, what if it pours down raining? Camping in the rain, that's miserable. So yeah, there's a lot of cons for camping. Bears? I mean, I don't know. No bears in hotel rooms, are there? I guess that depends on what kind of bear. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Airbnb. A lot of pros for that, right? Your own place. Hey, you can cook maybe if you rent a whole house. I don't know. Cons? Cost. Yeah, cost. That's probably going to be more expensive than a lot of the hotel rooms in the area because they know what's going on. Just like the hotels know what's going on. Limited availability, so you got to book early. You got to plan ahead. I don't know. Dealers aren't always we're not always the plan ahead type. At least I'm not. Hotels. Again, pros and cons. Depends on the hotel, right? Some hotels are closer to the show. Some hotels are cheaper. Some hotels are nicer. And usually it's not all three. In fact, it's never all three. You can't get cheap, nice, and close. You just can't do it. Cons for camping in your booth. I don't know. Dinner. Food stalls close up. Are you packing? Are you packing food with you? Are you bringing a cooler? Are you bringing cookout gear? That's less span in your base. No. Less space in your van for merchandise, buying or selling. Same if you're a customer and you want to camp out, right? You're going to go to the campgrounds. Sounds like fun. Let's have an adventure. Let's go camp at Brimfield. Well, now you got to bring a tent. You got to bring maybe an air mattress. You got to bring camp stove. Got to bring a cooler. Got to bring drinks. Got to bring food. That's a lot less space in your vehicle for merchandise to buy. So that's a con. Okay, doing hotels. You want to save some money? I don't know. You can figure it out. You can always bunk with people. You can always roommate. Yeah, roommate. I did that. Done that a couple years with John. First time was an adventure. We were friends, I would say, but we weren't super close. And we're like, yeah, let's book a room together in Brimfield. I didn't even have roommates in college because I was on the track and cross country team. I had my own room. Here I am. This is my first time splitting a room with someone that I wasn't dating. Got John in the bed next to me. We did have separate beds, which was nice. Cut the hotel cost in half, also nice. But I got the whole experience that first night. We're talking. Next thing I know, he's sleeping. I'm in the middle of a sentence. Dude's over there sleeping. Fell right asleep. I'm that boring. He just fell asleep mid-sentence. Okay, that's fine. It was a long day at Brimfield. We were walking. We were tired. I can forgive that. Dude snores. Yeah, snores. What the hell is that? Finally, just starting to drift off. His phone goes off. Yeah, he leaves his phone on in case it's an emergency back home and his wife has to call him. I think they only had one kid then, but she might have to call him. Yeah, that makes sense. Leave your phone on. But then people are messaging him all damn night. The phone's buzzing. I'm waking up. It's buzzing. I'm waking up. He sleeps right through that shit. Morning comes. He's planning on going to, he's got a dealer badge to get into the one show that I don't have. So he's leaving like an hour and a half earlier than me. Dude's alarm goes off. He hits snooze. Goes off again. He hits snooze. Goes off again. He snoozes like 3 times. Who does that? Just get up. So yeah, that's the problem with roommates, man. Now I will say, we've done it since then. It's worked out a lot better for me. Partly because we were always leaving at the same time. I usually just get up early because I like that quick shower in the morning, wake myself up. So I was the one getting up early, waking his ass up. Yeah, payback. You know what they say about it. Yeah, that's my thoughts. You want to book a hotel, you got to book early. You want something cheap, something nice, something close, probably not going to happen, even if you do book early. Looking to save some money, check out Auburn. It's only like 20 more minutes down the road, and it's an easy 20 minutes generally. The backups between Brimfield and Sturbridge, not Sturbridge to Auburn. So once you're to Sturbridge, it's not a bad drive. You could also go to Springfield. I don't know. Springfield didn't seem to be as nice as restaurants, but yeah, that's a big city. It's also the other direction. Could be easy. Not really much of options in Connecticut. Not any options north. So look east and west. Sturbridge, brand new hotel in Sturbridge a couple years ago. Super nice, but that's going to be pricey. But that's the shortest possible drive. So those are your basic options for hotels. Those are your basic options for lodging. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. Follow my antiques journey. I'll be posting a bunch of videos from Brimfield, but I also post all my videos when I go into a shop looking for stuff to resell. I post videos about the shows I set up at. I post videos about the stuff I send to auction. I post videos about some of my cool finds. So yeah, check me out. Follow me. Thanks for watching. See you in Brimfield.